welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to, talk a little bit about the wooing of Etain, a story from the Ulster cycle, and tie it into my story that I'm writing and how it kind of corresponds with global warming or climate change. I guess a sort of different way of looking at climate change. And yeah, so I'm Maureen, if you guys don't know me, and I'm kind of like an Irish wannabe, in the best possible way. Like, I really love, I'm an old soul, and I really love archaeology and history and myth and all those wrapped into one, I guess, in the story I'm trying to write called Modern Legend. And I guess I'll just try to articulate what I mean by referencing my friend Carl, Carl with a K. He's really smart and knows a lot of stuff, but I don't know if I'm quite as smart as him. And anyway, we were talking about like global warming one day, and he was like, I think we need to tackle it from sort of like an all-inclusive systemic, I don't know, sort of way, and I don't know, that kind of got my mind working, and I was like writing about what interests me, and I was just sort of thinking that if you are able to heal yourself, kind of look within yourself, you're probably better able to make choices that will help the earth, and just like overall healthier lifestyles, balance will, benefit everything, the planet we live on, other people, and together we can rise. So I wrote about generational kind of patterns that form, and the way we sometimes repeat those patterns without even realizing it. So a lot of our behaviors that are unconscious are the things we need to become aware of and work on ourselves so we can make the world better. So I wrote, for how could wounded people be expected to make conscious decisions for their children and their great-grandchildren, for that matter, pertaining to the earth, when they had such a hard time living upon it? It was like a bird trying to build its nest with a broken wing. So, yeah. I guess it's hard to know, like, how you continue on from generations. Like, it's not something you think about because you watch your parents and their behaviors and your family and just think, that's the normal, and go on living your life. But if we're able to see the patterns, like, my parent, say, was an enabler, or my parent was an alcoholic, or my parent, I don't know, it doesn't have to be anything bad necessarily, but they didn't treat a certain class of people with respect. You tend to just think that's the norm and go on living your life. So it's really good to be aware and to question things and to I guess ultimately, like, choose yourself. Nobody wants to betray their family in a sense, and I think that's normal, but it's sort of a dysfunctional loyalty, if that makes sense, and it doesn't help them and it doesn't help us. So I was just thinking, like, I was working the other day at one of my jobs. I work in a movie theater, and a bunch of like, this group of black people came in, like teenagers, and it was kind of awkward at first because I don't know, they didn't really want to come up to me for some reason, and they kind of just stood there. And a few of their girlfriends were standing behind, and the two guys were like, how can I help you today? Kind of being sarcastic. And so I was just like, oh, how can I help you today? You know, trying to make our interaction smoother. And they handed me some wadded money from their pocket, and kind of made like a few remarks that were kind of like, you know, disrespectful. But I was just realizing, like, I could have two reactions. I could get offended and you know, cause a big problem, or I could try to be understanding of them and probably what they've had to face in their life, and maybe just general distrust of other people. So I think we all tend to go on the ego side and be like, nobody talks to me like that. No. But if you go from the other side, the other angle, that's like tries to be understanding of the person, and go through it from an angle of love. I think that's where it's at. That's where we need to start, because, you know, we're not what our parents were taught. We're not, us younger generation is, you know, we're all on the same playing field, and we just gotta look after everybody. So that's what I have for you guys today. And I was gonna mention one more thing, the wooing of Etain. So in my story, there's a cow. I think I've talked about it a lot now, but the cow's name is the Dawn, or Dawn Kulain, and that's actually my main character, Lane's dad's name is Dawn too, so that's kind of a coincidence. But anyway, Dawn, he's a cow from the future that travels with Lane to prehistoric Ireland. And the thing about the cow is it's been tampered with by scientists who inject it, like, with the DNA of another animal, doing some kind of testing that they do these days. It's like completely normal, but to me it's like, I think it's a violation against nature, because I don't know, I just don't think we as humans should have that much leeway with nature. It's like sacred, and it's not looked at that way. It's all for scientific research, but that's just my own take. And anyway, this cow that travels with Lane to the future, it causes all kinds of problems with what they did to it, with what the scientists did to it, going back into the past. So it screws up a bunch of stuff for her ancestors, and Lane has to try to sort it out. And I heard a quote that said, "As you do for your ancestors, your children will do for you." So that kind of ties into it. And my friend Carl was telling me how time is it's not linear. It goes like that or something. And he's smarter than me, so I don't know what exactly that means, but it's fun to play with in fiction anyway. And this story, The Wooing of Etain, which I finally got to, well, I'm just going to read this passage to you guys because it's kind of about time travel. So, okay. Midir's first wife, Fuma, out of jealousy, turns her into a pool of water, out of which, as it evaporates, emerges as a beautiful purple fly. Midir knows the fly is Etain, and she accompanies him wherever he goes. But Fuma conjures up a storm, which blows the fly away, and she drifts for 7 years before landing on Angus's clothing, exhausted. Angus makes her a crystal bower, which he carries around with him until she returns to health. Fuma conjures up another storm and blows her away from Angus, and after 7 years she lands in a golden cup in the hand of the wife of Etain, a warrior of the Uliad, in the time of Concobar Macnessa. Etain's wife drinks from the cup, swallows the fly, and becomes pregnant. Etain is reborn 1,012 years after her first birth. Meanwhile, Angus hunts down Fuma and cuts off her head. So, I know that sounds a little bit like the old lady that swallowed the fly or complete nonsense, but I don't know. I think it's so beautiful how they are able to change into nature, change into flies, change into the lake. Etain is the goddess of transformation, so I don't know much about her, but I believe that the prince fell in love with her, and out of jealousy, his wife kind of had her transformed a lot, and I think it's so cool how these stories have some significance in the real natural world, such as this story, The Wooing of Etain. There's actually like an archaeological landform that is made reference to in the story. So the Corlia Trackway is like this, basically like a prehistoric road that crossed the bog in the middle of Ireland. And it says that the comparisons with the Irish language tale, The Wooing of Etain, where King Eunuch Ariam sets Midir tasks such as planting a forest and building a road across a bog where none had ever been before, a land called Moin Langra. So the tale like makes reference to this actual landform, even though it's a far out mythical tale. Yeah, there's just something so cool about that, and I feel like I should stop talking now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please join me next Wednesday for another video. I'll probably talk about some more stuff that goes over my head that I'm trying to figure out. So if you're interested, please join me. Please like, share, subscribe my channel if you're interested, and love and light. Bye.